Now, what study has convinced you that we can ignore over 100 animal studies that shows that fluoride damages animal brain, 10 studies which shows fluoride changes animal behavior, 33 IQ studies that I've mentioned already, other studies, another 7 studies which show neurobehavioral effects, 4 fetal brain damage studies in China. What have you got to offer which says we can ignore all that?
My turn? Okay. You're an eloquent speaker. I didn't know the curtains closed or what. First of all, you're quoting a book that's 550 pages long that I've read, and a lot of people say I have a photographic memory. I say I have a photographic memory, but there's not always film in the camera. But you know, I wish you would have wrote it in the book, because in his book he says strong evidence exists that the prevalence of severe enamel fluorosis is nearly zero at water fluoridation.
Excuse me, you don't
interrupt. No new studies.
Excuse me, with respect, my question was, what gives you the confidence to ignore all these studies that I listed? Over 100 animal studies, 33 IQ studies, etc. I won't repeat it. What gives you the confidence to ignore that?
Well, I think the exact question should be returned to you, because what gives you the self-importance that you are standing in? We'll just take one institution, the Centers for Disease Control. 15,000 people with an $8.9 billion budget. And all they do is research. When I've gone there, Jack's been there, I mean, there are PhDs from every country on earth. There's 220 countries on earth. I bet they have one doctor, one PhD, one physician from every single country. So my question to you is, why does the Centers for Disease Control endorse it today? Why does every reputable company endorse it today?
Well, first of all, there are 18,000...
That's all for our question for this time, but you do have a 7-minute speech.
Okay, then I'll continue.
Yes.
There are indeed 18,000 employees at the CDC with many specialities and skills. However, there's only one division at the CDC which is involved in water fluoridation, and that's the Oral Health Division, which is only 30 employees, and they're nearly all dentally trained, and their mission is to promote fluoridation to the point that they will travel to legislators around the country supporting statewide mandatory fluoridation. They have clearly a conflict of interest. They have never, to my knowledge, reviewed the IQ studies. They don't go to other parts of the CDC to resolve these questions. They come out with these statements, fluoridation is one of the top 10 public health achievements of the 20th century, based upon absolutely shoddy review of the literature, 6 years out of date on the health literature, and you saw the pathetic evidence of benefit there. So you're dealing with a biased agency, and I'm not saying that all 18,000 are like that. I'm sure those 18,000 people are embarrassed by the activities of the Oral Health Division, as if all we consisted of were teeth. I think their vision, the Oral Health Division, sees us as one big mouth with little legs on it, as if we had no brains and no kidneys and no bones and no endocrine system, because they're not interested in that.